Welcome everybody. Here we are, RDJ, Renegade Fight. Last night we talked about a little bit of different things, and we just coming on tonight just to recap and to give you just a little bit more things to look forward to. Last night we talked about a little bit of college football, and we talked about the different games of what we wanted you to keep your eye on, and everything like that. So it was a lot of interesting games on last night. In particular, the Colorado and the Kansas State game. We'll get to that in a little bit, but just to let you know, like, share, subscribe. Renegade Fight, we're on tonight. Just to talk to you a little bit. Last night's scores, going back where we left off, ACC news. If you've seen the Clemson Wake Forest game, it was a blowout. I kind of figured that it would be a competitive game, but it was, a blowout. The score was 49-14. But overall, it was a good game if you're a Clemson fan. If you're a Wake Forest game fan, that game was somewhat disappointed. But just keep your eyes on it and everything like that. Your team will be a little bit better down the road. I think Clemson dominated defensively. I think they dominated offensively. A lot of their second string and third string played in the game last night or yesterday. I think that kickoff was noon. So they got a lot of players to come into that game and show what they had for what they would have for the future. The Georgia Tech UNC game, that was very competitive. Very competitive. That game was very good. Georgia Tech is who we all thought they were. They came into the beginning of the season. They started off really hot. They did beat Florida State in the opening game in Ireland. And yes, Georgia Tech lost a few games down the way a little bit throughout the season, but they're still dominant. They're still dominant, and they're a good team. They're a team to still be reckoned with. Yes, we're in week 7 of the NCAA football schedule. Georgia Tech will give you trouble. Georgia Tech will give you problems. So for UNC to be in that game and it be 41-34, that was pretty competitive. UNC dropped a few games, and UNC, I thought they would be a better team this year than they showed up to be. But hey, this is a new ACC now. So you have better teams coming in and better competition. Some competition we haven't even seen yet. In other conferences we have from the teams that's coming in. But far as these teams in our conference, we have not seen them. So UNC is on the struggling trail a little bit, but hey, Mac Brown is one of those coaches that even though they may not have a great record, he's going to get the best out of his players, and you don't count them out because they can turn it around next week and end up winning 4 of the last 5 or 4 out of the next 6, and they can be right in the ACC hunt of the ACC championship. So don't count them out. That was a competitive game, Georgia Tech and UNC. That was a good game to watch if you've seen that game. Notre Dame and Stanford, that was 49-7 score. Notre Dame 49, Stanford 7. Not a lot to say about that game. I seen the highlights of that game. I didn't get a chance to see it in its entirety. but that was a blowout game, and I think Notre Dame is on the right road um, to compete for a playoff spot. But their schedule is still tough down the road too, and if you're a Notre Dame fan, you have a some more to prove. If you want to get that playoff spot, or keep a playoff spot coming on down the road, because I believe we're a couple of weeks out before we unveil our first playoff bracket projections. So it's going to be a lot told in these next few weeks about who will be in the initial poll and who won't be in the initial poll. And right now, I think Notre Dame has a good look of being in that initial poll. And if they're not in that top 12, they're going to be one of what you call outside looking in at that 13 or 14 spot, possible 15. Hey, look, listen, I know it's 12 teams that can go to the playoffs, but guess what? If you are in that 13 to 16 spot, you know how they used to say, the floor is yours, you control your own destiny? You can control your own destiny because you continue to play well in those spots, spot 13 to 16, and if somebody slip and fall, you move into that spot. So Notre Dame I think is right there at that level of that area. Another great game that we talked about yesterday, Pitt and California. Hey, what a game! Come down to the wire. Hey, Pitt is I want to say they're undefeated in the conference. They're a good team. Hey, let me tell you something. They're nothing to sleep on. Pat Narduzzi, I tell you what, he's a good coach. Always been a good coach. He's gonna get the best out of his players, as we stated with Coach Mac Brown. He's one of those coaches. Pat Narduzzi is that he's gonna be someone that I tell you, they're coaching down there, up there in Pitt. They're coaching. They're coaching real good. They're getting the best out of their players. Cal, they're new to the ACC, so they're learning the ACC in the ACC way. So I tell you, with them coming out of the Pac-12 last season and coming cross country to the ACC, don't sleep on them, because they are going to scare a lot of people going down the stretch as well. Louisville and Virginia, what an awesome game. If you did not see the game, you missed a treat. Check your local listings about how you can watch that replay. I don't know if you're one of the persons that may have ACC network, but I noticed that they play a lot of the replay games that came on Saturday throughout the week. So if you missed that Louisville and Virginia game, go back and watch that. That was a great game. Syracuse and NC State, awesome game. I tell you, that come down to the wire as well. Syracuse is on fire. Let me tell you, they're on fire. And I tell you, if you're a Syracuse fan, if you're in the Syracuse bandwagon, no matter what state you live in, you like your team, who you like, they're someone to be reckoned with. I can see them right now at this point of the season. I can see them playing for an ACC championship. I really can, because they're that scary. So they're really good. And NC State, yes, they struggled a little bit in the game, but they can have a bounce back as well. These games, when you lose them close like this, sometimes it tell you a little bit about yourself, and you come into the next week a little bit mad, and you take your frustrations out on the next team. So whoever NC State plays next week, I'm not sure of who they play, but you're going to get a NC State team that is going to give their heart, and they're going to leave it on the football field. Um, Leaving the ACC just a little bit, and going into NCAA news just a little bit deeper. The Oregon and Ohio State game. Let me tell you what. We talked about that a little bit yesterday. That was an awesome football game too. Oregon 32, Ohio State 31. 1 point loss for Ohio State. That was a heartbreaker. But I tell you what, that was a awesome football game. And I want to let you know that you keep your eyes on Oregon. Yeah, you keep your eyes on Oregon, because they're coming in, and they're not coming in to play patty cake with you. They're coming in and they're gonna put their helmet on your helmet. They're gonna play smash mouth football, and they're gonna play you at the line of scrimmage. They're gonna play you in the backfield. They're gonna play you anywhere on the field. Hey, look, listen. They are gonna play football when they get on the football field. So Oregon is one of those teams that you just don't go in there and you overlook. You play football when you step on the football field with them. And Ohio State is the same way. It's just that they slipped up a little bit yesterday, but hey, Ohio State will still be a little scary going down the stretch. They're not out of it by a long shot, but they will be right there in the mix when it's all said and done. Going down the slate just a little bit. Hey, did anyone see the Red River shootout against Texas and Oklahoma? I thought the game was going to be a little bit closer, a little bit more competitive. But, hey, that score was Texas 34, Oklahoma 3. And it was a good game, but if you're Texas, it was an awesome game. But if you're Oklahoma, it wasn't too good of a game. But Oklahoma, I tell you, just lick your wounds a little bit and come back, bounce back. Be the team that we thought you were earlier in the season and everything, and you'll bounce back. We know that Texas is the number one team, and they played like they were number one. They wanted the world to know that, hey, you cannot play with us, and we will not let you play with us. So when you step on the football field with Texas, you just got to bring your lunchbox, you got to bring your A game, and you got to be ready to play, because I tell you, you can't go in there playing patty cake with these guys, because they will beat you up and down the football field. Other news, Penn State and USC, Southern Cal. That game ended in overtime. I watched some of that game. I want to say I watched most of it, but I know I watched some of it. That was an awesome game. And James Franklin got the Penn State Nittany Lion football team on. They when you say got them on the heels, no, he has them on roller skates. I mean, they're skating up and down the football field, and he got the team on one accord, good captains and everything. That was an awesome game. We said we'll come back to it a little bit earlier in the show, but hey, like, share, subscribe. We're on tonight. RDJ here with you, Renegade Fight. Going into a little bit deeper with the NCAA news. The Kansas State 31, Colorado 28. I watched the entire game. It was an awesome game. Coach Prime got the boys rolling. Now, yes, you in your mind, you probably saying, what game did you watch? I watched the awesome football game. I feel like Colorado would have won the game if key players didn't get hurt. He lost a lot of key players in the first half. Jimmy Horn was hurt. Travis Hunter was hurt. Didn't play in the second half at all. Shedeur Sanders played well. I feel like he played well. I watched some of the Coach Prime interview, and Coach Prime said, no, my quarterback didn't play well at all. And, of course, he's the head coach, so he sees something different scheme-wise and play breakdown-wise than what we see on TV. But from what I saw of the camera views and everything on TV, Shedeur played pretty well. He made some mistakes. Yes, he did. He made some key mistakes. But if I go back and watch the film, I might can see what Coach Prime saw. But looking at it firsthand live and the plays coming back to back, I saw that he played well. But yes, there is some things that, even though you do play well, there's some things you still can brush up on. Shedeur Sanders, he threw the ball 40 times, and he completed 34 completions. He threw for 388 yards, and he threw for 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. So, on paper, yeah, that was an awesome football game by a quarterback. But like you say, skill-wise, scheme-wise, he may have made some mistakes somewhere, and that's probably what Coach Prime was saying, where the quarterback didn't play well. Going off of the NCAA railroad track just a little bit. NFL news today. Games that we wanted you to watch and keep your eye on. Week 6 of the NFL. Did anyone see the Baltimore Raven game and the Washington Commanders? Hey, look, Ravens 30, Commanders 23. That was an awesome football game that I watched. They both teams left it on the field. I feel like it was. You can tell that it was a rivalry. It got a little chippy in some areas, but understandably. I mean, hey, look, both of these ball clubs play 8 miles, 10 miles away from each other, but they're in the same region. So it's going to be chippy a little bit, and that was an awesome game. The Steelers versus Raiders game. Steelers 32 and the Raiders 13. Awesome, another good football game. Mike Tomlin got the boys on the right track. They coming off a loss last week, and they wanted the world to know, hey, that loss didn't set us back; it just set us forward. Going down the slate just a little bit, not calling all the NFL games, but just ones that I wanted to sit down and watch and keep my eye on. The Lions and the Cowboys. Lions 47, Cowboys 9. I did not see that game at all. I didn't even see the highlights, but somehow or another I got it all, got the score through off the bottom of the screen alert, knowing what the score was. So I'd have to go back and watch a little bit of the film just to see, hey, what happened, down the stretch. A lot of people would probably say now, are the Cowboys done? I don't know. They could bounce back. They could not bounce back. I really don't know. But they do have a lot of key injuries. And sometimes when you have key injuries to key positions and players, it does set you back a few weeks. And it does take time for you to bounce back. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. Tampa Bay 51 and the Saints 27. That was a game. That was an early game. I believe that was a 1:00 game. New Orleans Saints played well at times, but hey, it was just not enough for Tampa Bay and the 51 points. Tampa Bay is a hot team this year. They're a team to look at from this point on to the end of the season. You don't know what kind of Tampa Bay team you're going to get. You don't know if you're going to get a run the ball Tampa Bay, a defense Tampa Bay, a passing Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield got the boys on the road, and they're playing good football. Coming back down, Chicago Bears. That was an early game this morning in I want to say London, the 9:30 game, a.m. That was Chicago 35, the Jaguars 16. Hey, look, listen. A lot of people was on talking about the Bears these last few years, even when Justin Fields was there. And one of my biggest complaints was, if you get help for the offense and the quarterback, you can have a good team. And you cannot expect your quarterback to be Superman, the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, or whatever you want him to be if you don't put no help around it. And that's what the Bears tried to do with Justin Fields. They try to put him on the field and just don't get him no help. So now you got Caleb Williams, and all of a sudden you get him some help defensively and offensively, and now they're one of the hottest teams in the NFL in a 9-month time span. So, you can't win games. A lot of people I hear say, yeah, if you got a coach and a quarterback, you can play. Okay, well, last time I checked, you had to play 11 on 11. And you can't just put your quarterback out there and then 11 men on defense. And no, quarterback's not going to win. A quarterback has to have help to be able to flow with the offense and flow through the game and help the team win. And you got to have the playmakers around the offensive line, the defensive line, the linebackers, the secondary, whatever position or part you play, kicking, special teams. You got to be all on one accord to win these football games. And that's what the Bears finally woke up and saw. Hey, we got to get help if we want to be a top team in the NFL, and that's what they're doing this year. And I'm glad for Justin Fields to have gotten out of Chicago and went to Pittsburgh, and now you can see how good Justin Fields really is if you can get help around you. And the last topic we'll probably be talking about tonight is baseball news. The Mets and the Dodgers. That game is, I want to say that is the ALC is, I might be wrong, but the game is on Sunday night. I want to say it's an 8 o'clock game, the Mets and the Dodgers. That's going to be a good baseball game. And I want you to look forward to that. That's going to be something to look forward to, because if you really think about it, you got two New York teams in the playoffs, the Mets and the Yankees. And if both teams win out and go to the World Series, you got a New York World Series. You ever thought about that? So, Mets and the Yankees, if you're one of those fans that root for them, I don't have a team in the playoffs, so I'm just watching for fun. I'm just watching to see home runs and base hits and who's going to stand up as a new superstar in the new coming year. So like, share, subscribe. RDJ on here with you tonight. We're just talking sports. And just to wrap it up for you tonight, that was our last topic of the night, the Mets and the Dodgers. And just want to let you know that those were the games that I had on the slate for you to watch. And just to let you give an insight on what, to look forward to from last night and today. So, hey, listen, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. And this is Renegade Fight. And this is RDJ. And I will see y'all later. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for listening. See you later.